Right, remember you're still under oath, okay?
Yes, sir.
You may want to pull the microphone down, make sure everybody can hear you. Remember to wait for the questions to be asked before you respond.
Yes, sir.
Court reporter still taking your records.
Okay.
All right, defense, you want to examine the witness?
Please state your name for the record.
Joe David Munoz Jr.
Are you the same Joe David Munoz Jr. who testified in this trial, the State versus Guadalupe Contreras?
Yes, sir.
Were you in fact the very first, if you know, were you the very first witness in this trial?
I believe I was, yes.
I beg your pardon?
I believe I was, yes.
Okay. Are you also Joe Munoz 7347?
No,
At Joe Munoz 7347?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Mm-mm.
What's your YouTube, do you have a YouTube account?
Yes.
Okay, what's your login?
Actually, I remember the login that I do by face.
Do you have your phone on you?
Yes.
Take it out and log into YouTube.
It's not coming up.
What is your login address? Or what's your login name?
It's not coming up right now. I guess it's the signal. Or,
You have a daughter named Emma Munoz?
yes, sir.
How old is Emma?
14?
Was she born in 2010?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware that this trial is being shown on the internet?
Yes, sir.
Have you watched any of it?
No, sir.
No?
Just, well, the glimpses from, I guess, from the news.
I'm sorry?
From the news, I have the KSAT 12 news app.
Mm-hmm.
They post it up there and I just read the articles.
You have been reading the articles about it?
Yes.
What about watching stuff on YouTube?
It's on there.
It's on there? Yeah? Have you watched it?
This what it pops up when I'm strolling.
Mm-hmm. Have you commented on it?
Yes, sir.
You have?
Yes.
Under the name Joe Munoz 7347?
I don't know, remember the
Once again,
numbers.
You don't know? How many times have you commented, if you know?
Once.
Once? Are you sure it was only once?
I think it was once, or same one twice, maybe.
Okay. Who has access to that YouTube account? You or Emma?
Both.
Both?
Yes, sir.
Can you explain why you made some comments and then all of a sudden the username on your account was changed from your comments were changed from your name to Emma's name?
We just changed it. Because Emma uses it as well.
Did you change it because you realized, oops, I'm not supposed to be doing this?
No, I just glanced through it and made the comments. I didn't, from what I remember, I was just told not to speak about it.
You don't remember that?
No, I was told not to speak about it.
Right. Yet you did, but yet you watched, but yet, who told you not to speak about it? And what did he tell you? He also told you what, not to read about it?
I just remember not speaking about it to anyone or
Right.
talking about it.
He told you don't talk about it, don't read about it. Yeah, but you read about it anyway. Right. How many articles did you read?
Just that one.
Just one.
Because I just assumed he meant like person to person. That's the impression I got.
Okay. So you're telling me you've never watched the live stream?
Not like a whole video, just that little piece where I made that comment. That's it.
Well, you made more than one comment. So if you watched
It
more
was
than
like
one
two, I
piece,
think. It was two comments. I
two
think,
comments.
on that one video.
Who all have you talked to about it?
No one, just myself.
Well, then how? So did you change the name or did Emma change the name?
I had Emma change it.
You had Emma change it.
Because I wasn't familiar with doing all that. And I don't remember my passwords in there.
Did you have Emma change it because you realized you were about to get in trouble, or what happened?
No, I just had to change it because I didn't know any of that. Like I said, I didn't think watching that piece and making that comment was relevant because I thought it was just, I couldn't speak to people as person to person. I didn't take it as the video part.
So it was okay to watch the videos and read the articles, just don't talk to people.
That's the impression I got when I couldn't speak to anyone about it.
So, how many articles have you read? Honestly, and it's okay.
Well, I mean, just that one where I made the comment and then the articles from the news,
No, but
the one that comes up on there.
let's start with the articles.
Okay?
This thing's been going on for a long time, right? I mean, you testified like a week ago.
Yes, sir.
So there's been a lot of articles, right? And you read them all?
No.
Most of them?
No, probably I'd say about maybe 3, 4
You read 3 or 4 articles.
from that KSAT 12 app.
And what were those articles about? Let's start with the first one.
I don't remember exactly what they were saying. It was just pretty much a summary of what went on for the day.
You read, okay, so you read a summary of what happened that day. Okay. That was the first article. What was the second article about?
I don't remember.
Maybe a summary of the next day?
Yeah, it was pretty much, they were all pretty much the same summaries.
Did you feel like you had a pretty good idea of what you'd missed and what had happened in court those 2 days?
No, because they didn't go into detail about anything. They were just talking about the process.
What
I mean, they
evidence?
don't show everything. They don't show what, like evidence or any of that stuff. It's just, I guess, the KSAT 12 making comments of where the court is at.
Okay.
They don't specify anything as far as what's going on.
Well, that's where the clips come in handy, right? They kind of fill in the gaps.
I just read the articles.
But you said you watched some clips.
Yeah, just that one where I made the comment.
So let's talk about the third article. What was the third article about?
I don't remember the specifics. Just to me, they
Another
were all just
summary?
summaries. Yeah,
Okay. And what about the fourth article? Was it yet another summary?
they were all pretty much the same. What went on and what was going to happen next.
Okay, so, and they were, all 4 articles weren't all on the same day, were they? They were all on different days, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what day did you testify, if you remember? Was it
I
Wednesday?
believe it's Thursday.
Thursday? Thursday, you're right, Thursday. So did you read an article that night when you got home?
I don't remember if I did it.
We can start till Thursday.
Which clip was it that you watched? When you say a clip,
Well, it was just like a live streaming, but I didn't hear it. It was just showing it.
you didn't hear it. did you?
No.
How would you know to comment on something if you didn't hear what they were saying? You said, and I quote, "These people can't get their story straight." Why would you comment that somebody couldn't get their story straight if you weren't listening to what their story was? That doesn't make any sense, Joe.
Well, I mean,
It's
that's
okay.
how.
I mean, just tell the truth. You were listening.
Objection, may the witness be allowed to answer the question?
Yeah, you can answer the question. Remember that you are under oath.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Joe, you said they can't even get their story straight.
Yes,
You
sir.
want me to believe you said that when you were watching something you couldn't hear?
Well, and mostly it's because I remember from the last trial. Recap after it was considered a mistrial.
So you made a comment about a video you couldn't even hear.
Yes. Because, I mean, I wasn't sitting there watching the whole thing. It was just little clips.
With no sound.
Hmm?
With no sound. Joe.
Yes, sir.
How long did you watch it with no sound?
Maybe a couple seconds, 3-4 seconds.
When was the last comment you made? Is that today?
Okay? No, sir.
So other than reading the 4 articles, you said you did some other things that did not include talking to people. What else did you do?
Just the articles.
Just the articles.
Yes, sir.
And when exactly was it that you told Emma to change it so it didn't have your name on it?
Yesterday.
Yesterday at what time?
Oh. It was in the afternoon, about 4 or 5, somewhere around there. No, I don't remember the exact time.
And when was it that you watched this video with no sound?
Well, it was a few days ago. It wasn't like
A few days ago?
probably, I'd say about 2-3 days ago, maybe. I don't remember the exact date in time.
And you said you only watched a couple of seconds.
Yes.
Who was there with you when you were watching it?
Just myself.
Just by yourself?
Yes, sir.
You were watching it on your phone or how?
Yes, on my phone.
Well, why were you doing that when the judge told you not to?
Well, like I said, my impression was individually speaking to people about it. I didn't really take it as the video part. I remember being told not to talk about it.
And you figured it was okay because you'd already pretty much read 4 days worth of summaries, so you knew what was going
Yeah,
on
from the
anyway?
KSAT 12 Act, yes, sir.
Yeah, you already knew what was, everything was going
Objection
on,
to
right?
counsel testifying at this point.
I'll let him ask the questions. I know. I think the record is clear that he's asking the questions, and so he is testifying, so we'll give him a little leeway.
Did you read the other comments
Which other comment?
on the YouTube? Your comments kind of respond to other comments. I'm assuming you read the other people's comments?
Well, yes, there
Yeah.
was like 2 of them on there. I can't remember what they were saying, but
Really?
I don't remember exactly what they were saying.
Okay, let's go back to that first article. You said it was a summary of the day. Tell me about that article. What was it summarizing?
I can't remember the specifics, just like I said, it was just a summary of what they said happened that day and what was supposed to happen the following day.
Was it the same day you testified? Did it talk about you?
No,
It wasn't the day you testified? You weren't mentioned in that article?
not, No.
Okay, so it must have been the day after.
Probably. I don't remember the exact days.
But it was enough that you felt like you knew what happened that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just from the comments that I read.
From comments, I'm sorry, from the
The summary
articles.
that from the articles?
Well, you said comments. Do those articles have comments also?
No, it
Do, right?
just it was just summaries from the KSAT 12 app. Like I said, it said what happened that day and what was supposed to happen the following day.
Okay. Well, when you say comments, do,
Well, I meant the article.
okay, okay. Do the articles have, like, do people comment on the articles?
No.
Okay. Now, when you go to when I go to KSAT, the articles are also videos
Yes.
that talk about what happened. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, it wants the clips of videos. On the video, it pretty much says the same thing the article does. It's
So
pretty
did you
much-
watch the videos and read the articles?
Yeah, the video is just of the, I guess, the anchors when
Sure.
they were talking about it. And they pretty much say the same thing the article says, the summary of what happened that day. And
So did you do both?
Yes.
So you watch the video, and in the video, the anchor kind of summarizes, hey, today in court,
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then there's an article that accompanies it and kind of may give a little more detail.
Yeah.
And so you did both. You watched the video, and then you read the article that went with the video.
Yes, sir.
And
Because
you did that 4 times.
Yes. Because on the post, it has, I don't know if you know, when you see the post, it shows the video.
Yes,
And
sir.
underneath it has a little article of what they
Okay.
think. So,
And to your recollection, you did not watch the one for the day you testified. So that means if you didn't do that, and that was, you testified on Thursday, so you watched Friday. You've watched every day since then. Monday, Tuesday, I mean, today's Wednesday, so every day, you've seen every day.
not every day. I mean, I do get on KSAT 12 and the articles there, but I don't read it. I haven't read it every day.
Okay, you've pretty much seen the whole, you pretty much know everything that happened.
Just what they say the process
And
is.
it, I mean,
They don't detail what happened in the court.
well, they summarize pretty much who the witnesses were, what they said, what the evidence, I mean, I agree with you, they don't show the pictures of the evidence, but they kind of tell you, hey, here's today, here's what happened.
Yeah, they just say like they present evidence, but they don't specify what it was or what was said or anything like that.
But it's enough so you kind of feel like you know what happened that day. All right.
You can kind of get an idea.
Now you realize you weren't supposed to do that.
Yes, like I said, I was under the impression because I was told that I couldn't speak about it or no one could speak to me about it. Like I guess I misunderstood about not being able to watch the KSAT 12 app.
Well, at least this way you learned a lot of stuff you didn't already know, right? I mean,
Objection, leading, counsel testifying.
Sustained.
well, the days you watched the articles and the video, the day first you watched the videos and then you read the articles, am I correct in all of that stuff you learned, those were all days you didn't sit in court and watch. So all the stuff you learned, you would not have learned if you hadn't watched the videos and read the articles, right?
But to be clear, I didn't watch like every video. It was like one or two, if that. And most of it was just reading the article. Like I didn't sit there and watch KSAT 12 videos every day.
But there
Like
were
what
only
happened?
4. If you said you watched 4, we've only been in trial 4 days. So
I mean,
you
4
got-
articles.
But my point is, all the stuff you learned, you weren't in court when that was happening, so you learned all the stuff you missed, right? Okay. That's all I have, Judge.
State?
Yes, sir. So, Joe, after you read the articles, did you confer with any of the other witnesses or talk to any of the other witnesses about what you read?
No, ma'am.
After you watched the videos, did you speak with any of the other witnesses about what you saw on the videos?
No, ma'am.
I mean, Joe, the judge knows this, but you've been a part of this case since 2017, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been involved in the investigation since 2017.
Yes, ma'am.
You spoke to the detectives back then.
Yes, ma'am.
So you already, as of 2017, have a lot of information about this case prior
Yes.
to watching any of the KSAT news articles.
Yes, I did.
So for example, prior to this trial, you talked to Jennifer Sierra about where Elizabeth may or may not have been, right?
Yes.
Okay. You talked to Janet Sierra about where Elizabeth may or may not have been.
Yes, I did.
You talked to Officer Rodriguez about your vehicle that they took and put it in the 9th Street.
Yes, I did.
You talked to Detective Espinosa, who was the lead investigator in this case, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you talked to a lot of people that were involved in this case and testified in this case prior to trial, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But just to confirm, once the trial was started and you read those articles, you did not talk to any of those witnesses about what you read?
No, I did not.
So what was your understanding of the rule that you were under as a witness in this case?
Just that I couldn't verbally speak to people individually as a one-on-one. I couldn't talk to them about the case, or they couldn't talk to me about the case. And that's how I understood it. I misunderstood.
And have you followed the rule as you understood it?
Yes.
Now, Joe, if for some reason either the state or the defense were to want to call you to finish up something, some other piece of testimony or evidence that we haven't covered with you previously, would the articles that you read, would it affect any testimony that you would give after today?
No, it
Calls for
wouldn't.
speculation. He can't anticipate what the questions would be, so he didn't possibly know the answer to that.
My question is what he read, would that affect his
He
testimony?
doesn't know what the questions would be, so that calls for speculation.
You can rephrase your question.
So, Joe, if you were to testify after you've read those articles, would you still testify truthfully?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Would having read those articles change your truth?
No.
Nothing further.
Defense, anything else?
No.
Let me ask you a couple questions.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you got the instructions that I gave you from the last trial,
Yes, sir.
and you also got instructions I gave you after this trial.
Yes.
Okay. Did the state, anybody from the DA's office talk to you at all about what those instructions meant?
It's just not to speak to anyone about it. I couldn't talk to anyone.
What did the state explain to you? What were the rules as it related to your communications with others while this trial was pending?
Just that I couldn't speak to, or no one could speak to me about the case.
And you're telling us that that meant to you that speaking only means verbally, doesn't mean anything about writing.
Yes.
That's what you're telling us.
Yes, I was speaking to someone individually, like I couldn't talk to someone. Like if I'm talking to you, to me it's different talking to you and then making a comment.
What does it mean to you when someone tells you don't talk to anybody about any of the evidence or testimony that they would give if they're a witness in this case? What does that mean to you?
To literally not to speak to anyone about it.
What would the purpose of that be? Why would you be instructed not to talk to anybody?
For the case,
Is it because maybe you're not supposed to get information from them about what they testify about?
yes,
Isn't that the same thing as watching a YouTube video? Isn't that the same thing as watching TV reports?
and on the videos they don't really go into detail about what happened in the court.
This is a YouTube video we're talking about, right?
Yes.
And the YouTube video that you've testified about shows the entirety of the trial,
Yeah.
right?
And I didn't watch like the whole video. It was
You watched enough to comment.
just
Okay, what were your comments?
about not having their story straight.
What does that mean? What did you mean when you said that?
It just seems like they didn't.
Who is, let me interrupt you. Who is they?
Who was talking at the time?
If it inspired you enough to write something on YouTube, then you know who was talking at the time. Who was talking at the time, and what did you mean when you said they can't get their story straight?
Just, I can't remember.
Oh, you can remember. It was only a couple days ago. How many times did you watch a YouTube recording?
Just like twice.
Okay.
A few seconds here and there.
Okay, so if you saw it twice, then you know who was testifying, right?
I saw.
That's a yes or no question.
Oh yes.
Okay. So who was testifying when you made that comment?
One of the detectives. I can't remember his name. Like the bald one.
Okay, so what you're saying is you're saying that the police can't get their stories
What
straight?
are the questions they were asking him?
Who is they?
The defense.
Okay, so you're saying the defense can't get their story straight.
Yeah, because to me the questions they were asking were like they were going back and forth and like ask one question and jump to another, like normal. But to me, I mean, I'm not a professional. It just seemed like they were just trying to get answers, different answers,
Okay.
repeating their questions and
Okay.
hoping that they would come up with a different answer for.
Okay.
Like I don't know, like
That's your first comment. What was the second comment you testified about? What was that?
I can't even remember what the second comment I wrote, honestly.
Okay, so you know before you came into this courtroom that was not a correct thing for you to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your second comment? Because I'm certain that when you said, uh-oh, right, you told yourself, uh-oh, I didn't do something right, right? You told yourself that.
Well, because I wasn't sure.
That's a yes or no question.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
And then when you told yourself that, then you analyzed and you look back and you said, what did I say? What did I write? Correct?
Yeah,
So you know what you wrote. Correct?
Right now.
Hold on. That's a yes or no question. You know what you wrote, correct?
I just don't remember. Sorry.
You don't remember.
I know I wrote something, I just don't remember what I wrote right now.
So you know when I instructed you, and the state instructed you as well, so what the rule meant, right? Because the state talked to you about it too. Yeah, is that a yes or no?
Yes.
So you have two separate entities. You have the court and you have the prosecutors give you the same instructions about not getting information about this trial because you're a witness.
Yes, sir.
And you understood that, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Couldn't help yourself, could you?
It was on the app, and
You couldn't help yourself, right?
this is a major deal.
What was that?
This is a major deal for me, like
Yeah,
the
this
mother of my child.
sure, this trial is a major deal too to the taxpayers of this community, right? But you put yourself over the taxpayers, over the community, over the integrity of this case. Is that what you did?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other questions from either side?
No, Your Honor.
No.
All right. I'm going to listen to the instructions I gave you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Don't be, if you're confused, let me know. I'm going to instruct you to exit the courtroom. Don't leave. Wait until one of the parties tells you that you can leave.
Okay.
All right, you're excused. Anything from either side?
Yes, Judge, 100%. I don't know how on earth this court can even consider going forward with this trial when this witness under oath told me I didn't listen to anything, I only watched the video with no sound. Then he told you He was listening to the questions between me and a detective, and based on what he heard, he thought I didn't understand and I was trying to trick up and I couldn't get my story straight. So he's either lying to me or lying to the court. And if he'll be that brazen in his attempt to get through this little hearing, he cannot be trusted when he tells the state, oh, don't worry, I can tell the truth if I need to. I mean, he said, when I watched a 3-second snippet of YouTube, I had the sound off. Then you asked him, what did that mean? And he said, well, I was watching YouTube and I was listening to the questions between the defense and the bald detective, and those questions made it sound like the defense couldn't get his story straight, which clearly means he had the sound on. So, Judge, if he's going to sit here in this hearing and mislead the court, then how on earth can the court be comforted that if this trial was to proceed and he was to be recalled, his testimony could be trusted? Because it can't even be it can't be trusted in this instance. I mean, nothing could be more obvious than that exact question and answer you and I just had with him. He told me one thing specifically and told you one thing that was completely different. Completely different. I have no faith at all in the fact that he would sit here in a trial in front of a jury with my client's life on the line and tell the truth if he can't even tell either you or me the truth about something as simple as I watched a video with the sound off or the sound on. Judge, I have no choice. I move for a mistrial. He is the last witness potentially to have seen Ms. Contreras alive. He's subject to recall. He was instructed by this court, and even in a hearing as simple as this, he perjured himself. He was very clear to me the sound was off. He was very clear to you. I listened to their questions on YouTube, and it sounded like they couldn't get their story straight. The state's going to get up and say he was confused and he didn't understand. It wasn't confusing. He had the sound off for me. He had the sound on for you. He cannot be trusted. And if he can't be trusted to tell the truth in that, how can he be trusted to tell the truth in something as serious as this if he was recalled to testify? For those reasons, he's violated the court's order. Whether he understood it or not, I don't know. Apparently the state didn't do anything in addition to what you told him clearly what to do and not do. He didn't care. He didn't do it. And when he had the chance to clear it up and to say, hey, Judge, I'm sorry, I should have done better, he still chose to lie to the court or to lie to me, one or the other. And we can't have that in this trial. We just can't. I know the state's going to say the case law says you can let him testify. He can be rehabilitated. Judge, that would be the case if he had told the truth today. I understand what the case law says. I know the court can say, hey, we can get past this. And we could have. If he had proven today he can be trusted. But he proved today he 100% cannot be trusted. It's at the discretion of the court, but nothing can be more brazen than what we just saw. And I have no choice but to move for mistrial.
And Charles is right. I'm going to say, and Your Honor heard, Mr. Munoz clearly is not the most sophisticated person. I'm trying to be kind, you know. He's not even a high school graduate. He's here doing the best that he can. These legal issues are complicated. Even us as attorneys get things mixed up, right? So he told the court he didn't fully understand. He misunderstood. He was not trying to violate the rule. But more importantly was that he didn't talk to any of the other witnesses about what he read, so he hasn't infected any of the witnesses' testimony. And in addition, his testimony was first. So his testimony was not affected by anything and could not have been affected by anything that he read. And I think most importantly is that Mr. Munoz is seeped with this trial. He's seeped with this investigation. So to say that him reading a summary on KSAT is somehow going to so affect the defense's ability to call him back, well, we haven't heard anything that the defense wants to get into that he's prevented from getting into by Joe watching KSAT. What's getting in his way? The fact that he maybe watched a few articles? How does that affect anything of substance for this trial and for this defense? I wish maybe I could have been more clear with the rule. I know you, Judge, you think you are too. We all think that we're clear, but we've all been in situations multiple times in trials where we think we're clear to either the members of the jury or to our witnesses, and then something comes up and something happens, and they don't understand. I don't think that he was intentionally trying to violate the court. I do not even think today he was intentionally trying to be dishonest with Mr. Bunk or with yourself, Your Honor. I don't think he understands. So to say mistrial after all this time is just not warranted in this case. If for some reason Mr. Bunk does want to recall Mr. Munoz in his case, then this could be fodder for cross-examination. Anything that Mr. Munoz says different than his testimony from the first trial, from his statement to Detective Espinosa, to this trial, to anything that he just said in this hearing, that is all perfect fodder for cross-examination. He can put his credibility at issue with his jury, and that's the way to do it. No mistrial is warranted, Your Honor. If there is some other remedy, whether it's contempt of court or you want me to admonish him even further, we're happy to oblige. But a mistrial is just not the remedy that is required by the law, and we ask that the defense request for mistrial be denied.
All right, at this time, I'll deny the motion for mistrial. I think you got the point, so.
Thank you.